guys, this is Scott from Scott's Animal Adventures, and today we'll be looking at my Hog Island Boa tank. This is a brilliant tank. It was my first Bioactive, and I still class it as my best. So we'll go into the plants, the fauna, the different isopods and cleanup crew, and I'll really just take you through it. So I hope you enjoy, and let's jump in. Okay, so let's start with the heating and lighting, guys. I use a Pulse B2 digital thermostat from Microclimate. This is the standard range model. It goes up to 35 degrees. The high range model will go up to 45 degrees if you need a higher temperature. Boas definitely do not need to go that high. So moving across, we have 79% humidity and 27.9 degrees ambient. At the moment I am setting the temperature every month and going for a more natural temperature cycle. So into March that will go up to 28. So at the moment I'm kind of doing that transition between 27 and 28. I will look at potentially dropping that a little bit just until we hit March. The ambient, the basking temperature is 29.7 roughly, and this is, well, it's dropping. It will change due to the heat and the dehumidification from my fans that I have set up. So this will stay between 29 and 30 normally. Then you look at the front humidity is 59%. This is up at the top. This doesn't have a probe, it is its own unit. And the reason it's 32.2 degrees Celsius is because I have two high power lights that do kick off some ambient heat themselves. So this isn't one that I really look at for temperature, but I do look at it for humidity. And I will be misting later. I normally mist at night because it's really beneficial and is more natural. This is the front humidity and temperature for the cool side, so a higher humidity on the cool side, and then you've got the substrate temperature on the cool side, 24.7, so that typically goes between 24 and 25 degrees. And then at the back you've got the humidity and temperature probe for the cool side. This is a really humid area and it's really good because it's close to where the cool side hide is, so it acts as a humid hide as well as giving a cooler retreat. And at the moment, because the boa is in shed, the boa is in that hide. So if I just open this glass and give you a little peek, he is in here and he's looking at us thinking, what are those weirdos doing? Why are they in my tank? But it's okay because he loves me. And then moving on to the lighting setup, I have a Jungle Dawn LED bar along with a 6% Pro T5 from Arcadia. These two lights are linked together, so you can see I've got the wire coming in from the power, and then on the other side, if I take you over, we can see that we have a link cable. And that is a really good thing about these lights. You can link them up to 10 lights on just one plug. So it really saves on your wiring and your plug capacity. Here we've got the ceramic heat emitter. This is a White Python model, 100 watts, and it's really good. Really works well with that Microclimate pulse proportional thermostat. And then moving on to plants, I do have some fake plants in here, purely and simply because I really like the Anthurium, but it is too weak, and I don't believe I could get the density from live vines that I can from fake vines. And that's just covering up some of the wires. So moving on, we've got two plants of Fittonia. They really aren't doing well, and if anyone's got some suggestions for better plants to use that would be more up for the challenge, please let me know. Just drop me a comment on the video, and hopefully you'll like and subscribe while you're at that. At the back I have a really nice, really healthy spider plant. It's doing incredibly well. And at the front I have a Ficus retusa, which was originally a bonsai tree, but I looked it up and it is reptile safe. Some say the sap can be a bit irritant, so what I tend to do is I will cut and trim during the day. I will use a tissue to just get some of that sap and make sure that I'm not leaving it anywhere. So I'll clean up and make sure that it's not getting onto the animal or getting anywhere where the animal could potentially get any kind of irritation. And he really loves climbing on this. He's had no ill effects. So I believe the main thing for this is just to be mindful of when you're trimming it and when you're really sort of taking care of it. And you can see it's really cool because it's got all of these air roots that will take the moisture from the air and sort of use some of that humidity. On the floor it is a cocoa fibre before I started using compost, and in it is XL coarse orchid bark, leaf litter, and on the cool side I also add some sphagnum moss for my cleanup crew. So moving on the cool side I have more fake vines, and I have a Dracana fragrans, which is a really great plant. It will turn into what I understand to be like a mini tree, so I'm really excited about that, and I just love the colour of it. It's really good. And then down here you can see I've got my Isopod foods and supplements and a little dairy cow just having a little munch. Underneath the pool I do have lots of cleanup crew. I've got mainly dairy cows, and then a few oranges have still prevailed, so they will go crazy every time I open this up. So every time I change the water they just go running, and it's absolutely brilliant. You can see because of the way the rock is sort of formed on this pool, they can go down and have a bit of a drink, and it means the boa has got somewhere where it can soak, which is always a really brilliant thing. If I just turn on the light we might be able to get a better view of the boa. But he's in shed. You can see the iridescence on him. Hog Islands are typically lighter in colour, but because he's in shed he is obviously a lot darker than he would be. But trying to get a good shot is really hard when he's all in his cave. He likes his privacy. Now moving along we have the big branch. This gives him climbing space. It gives him an opportunity to bask closer to the UV. And it also just gives him somewhere to perch. Boas like to have somewhere where they can sit and wait for anything to come past that they can have. At the back you can see I've got some dead wood for the isopods as well. And then the only other noticeable thing with this setup is if we come out of the setup, obviously I've got the weather strip in just to keep the boa from getting between those two panes of glass. And at the back you can see this device. Now what this is it is a hygrostat, so it controls humidity. At the moment I've only got it linked up to 2 fans to draw humidity out when the humidity gets too high. So once I've sprayed this, the fans will kick in and it will control to 77% humidity. So I hope you've enjoyed, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe, and if you've got any comments or any questions, don't be afraid to fruit lovely.